Good morning, Vaibhav. What is Makers Asylum?
So Makers Asylum is a makerspace based out of Mumbai and New Delhi. It's a place for people to come and build stuff. It was the first of its kind when it started 3 years back.
Okay.
It started as a tiny garage and then it kept growing. And recently, one of our resident makers, Kobe, along with Nikhil and Mayur, got together to build this auto. And the concept behind the auto is it's a mobile makerspace. So it can go out into the streets of Mumbai and different parts of India. Like you see, it's come all the way to Bangalore to showcase what it can do.
Okay. How long it takes to build an auto?
I will pass that on to Mayur.
It took us 4 months, including the designing and the fabrication and idea building and thinking about what to put in, what not to, about what ideas to actually implement and what to discard.
Can we have a look at it?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing you need in a makerspace is space.
Okay.
So we've got these 4 sections. These are tables.
Okay.
And each section can open up to be one entire table, as you see there.
Okay.
That's one entire table. But each table has 4 drawers
Okay.
to build in whatever equipment, how many equipment you need for power tools and everything.
Okay.
So I have a 3D printer and an auxiliary battery.
Okay.
So your alternator charges the vehicle battery first and then the auxiliary battery.
Okay. So where can this auto can go?
Stays in the asylum,
Okay.
but when you have to go for workshops, it's around Mumbai.
Okay.
Recently got our license, so we'll be going out now.
Okay. Nice. So I have Pavna and Abhishek from Delhi. So what made you come from Delhi to Bangalore?
So there's this thing about Bangalore Mini Maker Fair, which is about the maker concept and how you are creating it by yourself. So we had earlier participated in Delhi Mini Maker Fair, and this time it was in Bangalore. And we feel that the crowd in Bangalore is much more sensitive towards these things and upcycling, which is our area of work. So that made us visit this place in Bangalore.
Okay. So what is this all about? There's a tire which I can see, and there is a seat in. So could you explain
So
more?
yeah, so under our initiative, which is called Punah Again, that means Punah plus Naveen. That means renewing. So this is
You said Punah plus Naveen.
Punah plus Naveen. That means renewing. So it's in Hindi and it's a mix of Hindi and Sanskrit. So we are working on the upcycling concept, and we are making products out of discarded materials.
So you said recycling and discarded. Can you throw some light on that? Because recycling is different and discarded is different.
Yeah. So recycling is about breaking down of materials into smaller components. But in upcycling, what we do is we take the material as it is, the discarded material, and we work over it. So there is no utilization of energy in form of melting down a product or breaking it down. We directly use the component and we add value to it by working on the material itself.
Cool. So thank you and all the best for your
Upcycling.
upcycling and Hi Arvind. Fyro is your company.
Fyro is a product, yeah.
So I see there are 2 versions of your product.
Yes.
So what does each do?
So there are 2 versions of the product. One has Bluetooth and one doesn't.
Okay. So what I heard is that age group of 5-year-old can actually program through your robotics product.
Yes,
right?
definitely.
So can you tell me how does that work?
To be precise, I can tell you that we say 9 years and up for the Pro.
Okay.
but we can actually try it from 4 years and up. The other product that we call it as unplugged says it's 4 years and up. So the first mode, right now it's in mode 1, it's called sequential mode.
Okay.
So all you need to do is press the keys here, the blue keys here, and it moves. Simple as that. So we are talking about really small kids who don't know anything about programming, but we're teaching them programming without their own knowledge. So think about it. Just eyes press forward, backward, left, right. I press play. Simple. So imagine I give this to kids. I tell them, okay, move from this room to this room over here, or give them a big mosaic thing and ask them to move from here to here. So this is sequential. You just have blocks of code. That's it. Now to kick off the game, when your child actually grows up, he can start thinking about loops, if loops, condition loops. Now my robot is quite intelligent because you've got sensors over here.
Oh, these are the 2 sensors.
Yeah, here. You actually have a total of 8 sensors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2 over here in the slot. Right? So we have a programming thing called switch card mode, where all you need to do is swipe a card over here, and your program is done. It's as simple as it gets. You change the mode over here like this, and let's say left LED white. That's what I'm going to do now. I just need to place the card here and swipe like so. I download the program. I press play. Simple.
That's only the left LED?
It's just the left LED that we have done so far. Now we can even scale up the programming to a new level. For example, this over here is an obstacle follower, right? Let's do a new program. This. Download. I press play. Now what happens is, I keep my hand over here, it starts falling. Like so. Right? Left, right, everywhere. Now we have a whole bunch of cards here, different colors as you can see. Each color has its own significance. Like for example, you have blue color cards, which have motion. You have the purple color cards, which do lights. You can see it over here. Right? Then you have the yellow cards, which do all the fancy sensor stuff. Then you have the pink cards, you can make it do songs. And then we have the green cards, which are, when you take the product out of the box, you wanted to make something without even knowing how to code. So right now I showed you one program. You can easily decipher what the program is. For example, when it's left sensor, if left sensor is detected, it's moving to the left. Right sensor is detected, it's moving to the right. If both the sensors are detected, move straight. That's the whole program. That's 6 statements. You swipe the 6 statements, your programming is done. Simple as that. So these are the 2 modes. Now these 2 modes come in unplugged. Right? So additional to this, you can put, some kids have made Lego blocks. They just took a Lego kit and put it over. Like what you see here is a car sort of thing that goes really, really fast. Now just to show you the difference, see now this is the speed of the vehicle right now, right? Let me show you what it is. It's a bit different. Now watch this.
Oh, that's pretty fast too.
Yeah. So kids can do a lot of things. I mean, we never even taught them these things. All they did was put a couple of gears here, started moving fast.
Hey, hi Mudit, and you own Turtle Shell Technologies,
yeah,
right?
I am a co-founder of that.
Okay. So what I think I see there are 2 products. One is Vitals and Doze.
Right.
Okay.
Dozy.
Dozy.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me know what exactly this is Dozy.
Right, it is Dozy.
Okay.
So they are pretty much the same thing. So what this device is, you need to put this under the mattress, and from there it picks up the respiration, pulse, and sleep cycle, and gives you all the analytics about your health on your smartphone app when you wake up.
Okay.
So Dozy is kind of consumer-facing device, and the same thing in the hospital setup. In much more serious, as in the response time and all that is much quicker. That is called Vitals, and it also gives you so what it does is the Vitals one. It gives the alert to nurses and doctors in case of any abnormal heart rate, breathing rate, if someone is under seizure, someone is very uncomfortable, and things like that.
So basically what you're talking about is Dozy is going to collect the data and pushes it to your Vital app.
No.
Oh, it's two different products.
They are two different products.
But it talks to each other?
No, so they are just in two different scenarios.
Okay.
One in kind of personal health care, so that is Dozy.
Okay.
And for patient monitoring, if suppose you have a hospital, you want to know how well are your patient doing, how well are they recovering.
Okay.
So you would use Vitals because that will give you
okay.
much more capabilities, right?
Okay.
That is it.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Hey, I'm a bunch of Sriram College students here. So they have come up with some unique products. They have been working on different renewable energy products. Okay.
Renewable and innovative products, sir.
Okay. So what I see is a go-karting thing here.
Yes, sir.
So how did this happen?
Actually, we went to first. We used CAD model for designing complete car.
Okay.
And then we went to fabrication using various metals and welding techniques, various engineering techniques. We applied the theoretical engineering knowledge into the practical knowledge of go-karting.
Okay.
For designing the well fabricated vehicle it moves around 60 km per hour. It is a very fuel efficient car, and we competed in two of the competitions conducted by Imperial Society of Innovative Engineers and Vishnu Karting.
Okay.
Vishnu Karting Championship. It's a national level karting championship, and we have secured Innovation Engineering Futuristic Team Award.
Okay, cool. So they have won a lot of awards for this particular product. Okay. And this is currently being used somewhere?
Yes, sir. We have made it for it's a beginning step, sir.
Okay.
We can next.
So you have not commercialized it yet?
Not commercialized.
Okay, so they have not commercialized it yet. The whole point is that they are bringing various departments in the college, for example, the mechanical, electrical,
and
automobile, yeah, together, and all of them are contributing to create a unique product, an innovative product, right? So, cool. How does this go? You said it's going to go on 60 kilometers per hour.
60 km per hour with the ergonomics, sir. Completely, driver can sit for a 3 hours ride. He won't feel any pain or anything, sir.
So where did you source all these materials, basically?
Actually, we fabricated, and these are handcrafted, sir.
Okay. So how long it take from the scratch to build this particular product?
We only took 19 days for building this one, sir. For designing, approximately 10 days.
Okay.
Completely designing and simulation, it took almost 10 days.
Okay.
For fabrication, we took only 19 days.
Okay.
Within 19 days, we from scrap, we built this one.
Awesome. So all the best, create more products, and I see you have done solar vehicle, e-bike, is it? Quadcopter. Okay, nice. Awesome. So all the best.
Thank you, sir.
Great going. Thank you. I see a custom-made violin here. So how did this start?
I am a violinist, so I've been playing for 10 years.
Okay.
And when I was in 9th grade, that's when things started off, because I wanted an electric violin. It's a fad among youngsters to have one. And I asked my father for one, so he was like, no, because frankly we couldn't afford it at that time.
Okay.
The cheapest electric violin in the market starts at about 12,000 to 13,000 rupees. And we couldn't afford one. So I was always crazy about carpentry and a little bit of hobby electronics, so I thought, why don't I make one for myself? So that's when it started out. And,
How old were you when you started this?
30?
Okay.
Yeah, 13 to 14.
So what's your company called? And where are you located in Bangalore?
Near Banshankli.
Okay.
It's Padmanabh Nagar.
Okay. So it's called
Reverb Instruments.
Reverb Instruments. Okay. Cool. So, and I see a guitar too.
Yeah.
And as well as a violin in a different shape. Can I see that
Yeah.
violin too?
So So this is again another violin.
So these are the two violins, which is totally different, custom made.
Custom.
Okay. So who are the kind of people that you give this violin?
Anybody from people who want to start learning to absolute professionals who have been playing for a very long time and know what they're actually looking for. So I cater to all these kinds of people. So people who are just looking for fancy stuff and people who are like, I want this note or this kind of output or these kinds of features in my violin. So I cater to all.
So do you add more strings to this?
Yeah, usually violins have only 4,
Yeah.
but both of these have 5 strings in them.
Yeah, that's why I was
Yeah,
curious.
it can go up to 7.
Okay.
It can go up to 7.
Okay. So cool. And anything else you want to talk? How much does this cost, by the way?
The basic 4-string version, it starts from about 8,500 rupees. That of course comes with a box, things like that.
When you say the box, it's amplifier.
No, not the amplifier, the case.
Oh, it's a case. Okay.
The amplifiers, of course, it's a separate entity. So the upwards, these violins, these violins, this is about 15 and a half. The same, the features are the same, only the shape is different.
Okay, cool.
So the price increases as the customer has different needs. So the quality of pickup, the kind of.
Cool. So very good design.
Thank you so much.
All the best for you.
Thank you so much.
So, hi VP. Hi. Can you talk about yourself because you're an architect by profession,
Yeah.
right?
I'm an architect and I did my bachelor's in RV College of Architecture in Bangalore.
Okay.
And then I went on to Barcelona to do my master's in IAC, in Institute for Advanced Architecture Catalonia. This institute also has Fab Lab Barcelona attached to it. So this Fab Lab Barcelona is the super node. So there are a lot of interesting people coming in and going out and a lot of projects that I was exposed to while I was there, which is how this interaction design and technology and maker movement started off for me from there.
So you're a maker by profession too, right?
Yes, I think everybody is a maker, don't you think? Like even
Right.
kids are makers in some way. Everybody is always making something.
So why Maker Fair today and what brings you here?
I think first thing is that it's exciting because when I was doing all this, I was in a different environment in Europe and I was seeing all those people doing it. Coming back home and seeing so many people interested in it and doing this sense of belonging and a sense of happiness that people out here are also exploring their boundaries and just pushing the limits. So that is why Bangalore Maker Fair was important because I'm from Bangalore.
Okay.
And what else?
Good. So thank you so much because I just heard your talks. It was amazing.
Thank you.
So look
Thank you for
forward
coming.
for more of design thinking.
Yes.
Later. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you. Hey Rajiv, can you let me know how are you associated with Bahubali?
Okay, so I represent this company called as Data Systems, and head the academy for it. So we are associated with Bahubali through Pawan, which is Workbench Project. Okay. So Pawan has an MOU with Bahubali for the pre-launch hackathons with Bahubali, which are going to come in the coming few months. Okay. And that's why it's trying to be a part of this hackathon, both for topological optimization as well as the 3D printing, which is called as additive manufacturing.
Okay. So can you elaborate on additive manufacturing? Because how is that concept? How have you integrated with that?
Okay. So all of this year, additive manufacturing is a very new topic. And this is what we try to do with Pawan. Well, we try to involve the community into the hackathon, into the Bahubali hackathon what Pawan is running. And if the community is trying to design something on the fly, so we make the system ready and then we'll print it in the system. And the 3D printed one can be used both for movie industry as well as for merchandising. And this all happens as a cycle. So right from the concept sketch to the printed. and in between you can also use the topological optimization.
Okay. So, also you said you have a lot of 3D animation stuff, right? So, is this a platform that you open up to the kids so that they can play on, or they have to be part? How does kids use this?
Okay, we have a couple of technologies. So we don't have a dedicated technology for kids. Okay, but whatever we use in the industry, we try to get the same thing to the school kids. Okay. Of course, for the industry and the higher technical education, it's all good. Okay. But for kids, we have something called as IMA, like a play modeling. Okay. So you start with the primitives, any primitive, and then try to model whichever way that you want. It's a kind of push-pull thing, and you get the desired model out of it. And you can then print the desired model, and that is what we like to manage. Okay. So right from the concept to the real product, so we manage this part of the 3D game.
Okay. So how difficult or how easy additive manufacturing is to implement? There should be hardcore techniques to implement this, or just a software will do.
As of today, the part of additive manufacturing is still developing. Okay. Though it is being used in the aircraft industry a bit and pieces, but then in the coming years it's going to be the usage of additive manufacturing is going to be very high. Okay. But today I would say it's still technologically very, very high. So we have to simplify it, and then that's the journey that we are on. And the platform, the 3D experience platform, is the one which is trying to do that.
Okay. So cool. So all the best.
Thank you.
And good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. I must say I've been really impressed by what I've seen here. I can see you've got some truly innovative work going on. And you know, I have also been a little foxed in terms of what I wanted to speak to you, so I brought some slides, decided not to use them. And I think it's important to address this group from where you are and where hopefully you can take your innovations ahead. The first thing is to talk about, like you said, talk about myself. I'm not sure that I want to do too much of that. You know, I've had a 20-year career in engineering, landed up to look after Wipro's IT business as a president. I used to be in this office which is right here, the Times of India, where you know it. And about that, I actually sat in that for 15 years. And Basant, who's really the brainchild of all of this, actually we met there the very first time. And of course, then since then we went trekking together and we've had a long association. And so after that I started Mindtree, took it to become a very successful public entity. And then I was a late stage entrepreneur because I had spent 20 years of my life in engineering. So I came to IT when I was already 40 years as president of Wipro. I've taken it up to 500 million, started Mindtree, and then I became a late stage serial entrepreneur by starting Happiest Minds. So Happiest Minds is a company which is essentially also an IT services company, but I think there's a lot of difference in the sense that we really focus on new disruptive technologies which disrupt markets and bring about change for customers. So some of the technologies we work on, and the thing which I've seen all over here, is IoT or artificial intelligence. Now, I can see many of you here have done design products. So that's a bit of a brief background. And I do also take a lot of interest in the environment. I think that's a real area of interest. And I have an NGO which I have my friend here, Davis, who's the managing partner of that. And we also then provide help for the needy. That's another, could be vocational training. There may be many other things that some of you all may actually want to reach out. We saw one wonderful product outside, which is a Braille library virtually. And clearly that's the sort of thing that our NGO could help take to the market by providing it to various NGOs who will be able to find it useful. So with this, let me just briefly touch on how I see all of you as a group and what could be the next possible journey which you need to go ahead, and can I give you some inputs towards that. So, you know, all entrepreneurship is about innovation. If you look at any entrepreneurial venture, there has to be something new. It may be a new product, it may be a new service. But here I'm seeing one thing very different. And that is, of course, there's innovation, but you really are inventors here. So I think invention is the root for the highest form of entrepreneurship, and you've really got the base for it with some very innovative products, which you, as a group, as an individual, seem to have invented. But here then begins the challenge. You become an inventor, you've got a wonderful product, and you really don't know how to be able to convert this into a viable commercial enterprise, which is what entrepreneurship is about. Incidentally, I happen to have written and co-authored a book which is due for release on Tuesday. I was going to invite this group if they wanted to come for, and you're still open if you want, Anupa, you can send this on to the launch event.
Sure.
But I do believe that although the book will go multiple steps ahead of where you are today, it is a wonderful, useful handbook for you. It's called Entrepreneurship Simplified. And it does go everywhere from idea, which most of you seem to have, right up to IPO or whatever exit you seek as you take your project forward. Now, at this stage of your life, what is it that is really important that I can tell you? You've got your products, most of you have got this thing, and now you need to commercialize it. I would of course say that the ideas that I've seen here, many of them are wonderful, of course, but still a lot of them have got a long way to go before you could launch them in the market. What would you do in order to be able to get them there? Now, just a couple of thoughts and ideas, and again, there's nothing which is, certainly you need to validate the idea in terms of what market it addresses. And how do you go about validation? I've presented several forms of approaching it. Certainly whatever you're going to do, because you're going to be tight on funds, till you organize some funding. And it has to be a low-cost marketing effort. It has to be something that you do. You create your prototypes, you test them out, you go and find and test markets. And this again, a forum like you've just created, is also a wonderful forum. You get people who are interested. I was quite interested to find that your person who produced the Braille product actually found someone who helped him complete the product, which is Sapient came forward, got involved, and then said, let's see how you can take it forward. The second very important thing that I believe is really critical is that, you know, I see too many people who blow up their life savings in trying to create an entrepreneurial organization, and the failure rate is really high. I mean, you know, there's a lot of excitement when you're working on something new, particularly, even more so with you all, because you're inventors. You've invented something, you're wedded to it. Sometimes you don't even see the negatives of it. You don't see what are the... So you get so absorbed, you're creating this thing, but you could also end up blowing up a very large part of your life savings because you got so absorbed. I truly believe that you must get funding. Many of the projects we've seen here would probably qualify easily enough for angel funding. I personally believe that if you choose to be ambitious, it's far better if you can interest a VC straight away. Then maybe everybody won't be able to do it. But you know, remember one thing, that when you go out for external funding, you create an entity. That entity gets a certain notional market value. You project some data, but in the end, the value that is provided is a negotiated value. Somebody gets interested and says, okay, maybe I'll value your business at $2 million. Then you take $1 million from that person, so you parted with 50% of your company. If you really visualize in the end, if you have to keep scaling, you'll have parted with a very large part of your company. But the importance of getting a VC or an angel or somebody on board is, they also help you to validate your idea, they help you to scale the idea, they help you to modify and adapt the idea, and then, for all you know, you're suddenly looking at a much larger world. Yes, you no longer own your company 100%, but that person is going to help you to scale it maybe 10 times larger. So it is well worthwhile to seek that funding. And then, the next part of this is how are you going to be able to further as you go ahead, build the product, scale it up, and go to the market. One important thing I must tell you as a young player is, you can't do everything yourself, so you are going to need partnerships. The partnership may be buy-side partnerships or sell-side partnerships, somebody who takes you to the market. Now when you have a sell-side partnership, odds are again, you've got somebody interested, somebody's got a product where they've got Intel has come in. I don't know whether Sapient wants to now try and get a certain amount of returns themselves for the investment they made. But those partnerships are all going to be very asymmetric. Now what do I mean by asymmetric? That means you as a small player are dealing with a much larger player. So remember a few rules and guidelines. Don't give away more than you need to. Don't give away exclusivity. If you've got an IP which you're taking to the market, you can't give away anybody exclusively. So I'll offer you the IP, but you can white label it under your own brand so that I can then white label it for multiple others. A very large part of the cost of going to create a venture is in the end going to be marketing. You created your products, they still have a lot to be done. Now the good news is that we're in a digital world where the cost of marketing, the cost of entry into a business has come down dramatically. And you have such wonderful, there's so much interest in entrepreneurship. You could reach out to multiple forums and this is one to display your products. But there's this, for example, there's Your Story. It's an electronic media. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with it. You are, I got at least a couple of hands. Lots of people. So Shraddha, who's really the person behind and who's going to come to our launch, where she's really going to be speaking to my co-author and myself, she, I think, reaches out to some hundreds of thousands of people, and she's really interested in entrepreneurial stories. So people like this can help you take your product forward. And the best thing about marketing, I must tell you, is that free marketing is the best marketing. You don't need to spend the millions of dollars that Flipkart and others are going away. Another thing I would advise you while you do this, you see, you're creating your product. And there will be a tendency, there will be some competition even as you get going. In the beginning you may be just new and there's nobody else around, but somebody will see this and say, I'll copy it also. Or there could be something which is already in the market, you've chosen to bring out something slightly better. One danger to avoid, and I really believe that it's a very big temptation, is to price your product too low and say, I'm going to enter into the market by a pricing strategy and the price is to undercut whatever is available. You've got to make a healthy margin. You're not just growing revenue for the sake of, you won't even be able to scale your business if you don't make enough margin. So you do need to plow back. And if you've got confidence in your product, you must definitely not treat pricing as a strategy, because I think pricing in such cases is a mug's game. A lower price is justified only if your costs are that much lower, because you sustain your margin. And to the extent that you've got a lower cost, yes, of course you can have a lower margin. But odds are that you'll find it very difficult to say that you're going to scale up, you're going to have costs of scaling, you're going to have a production facility somewhere or the other, or you're going to have something which is producing a service, and it has a certain cost. You'll be surprised if you stick to your guns and say, I'm going to market it this price, you'll get that price. So don't think that you really need to reduce your price at all. So that's one thought I would certainly leave behind with all of you. And as you do go forward from here, there's another thing which you will come across as you get larger. And actually you have to think of it from the word go. And that is, how will you minimize your risks? You know, a lot of people think of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneur is a person who's taking a risk. I've done this wonderful product, and look at this, I'm very macho feeling about saying, okay, now I'm getting into the market and I'm going to create A, B or C risk, it doesn't matter. But the job of the entrepreneur in the end is to reduce the risk. So you look at all the risks around you, and then you look at how you eliminate those risks to be able to create a viable business which will be self-sustaining as you go ahead. So with this, let me kind of take a pause, and if there are questions, I'd love to take them, and I'll maybe add one or two more comments again thereafter.
So my question is around ideas. So basically, what are the must-to-have checkpoints for an idea to get commercialized? Because not every idea is it's going to go for commercialization, right? So what is that I need to look for the blind spots in terms of making it commercial?
So let me see if I've understood your question. You said idea obviously won't be able to get to market. So did you say what are the criteria to see what are the viable ideas, or?
No, what are the must-to-have checkpoints that I need to
Must-to-have checkpoints, okay. 2-3 things. One is, firstly, I think from the word go, you must have some idea of its ultimate scalability. So you've got, and you'll see this again as a recurring theme in my book, where I say you work backwards from where you want to be. Now, you will find, I know it seems to be a very tough thing to tell people who are so absorbed in their invention, to say that if you want to create an organization, are you really thinking of creating a $1 million operation? Are you creating a $5 million, 20 million? That number may change as you scale, but you have to have some mindset to say, this is what I believe it will be, because then you start working towards it. So one is its scalability. 2, is it easy to use and adapt? I think ease of use really becomes absolutely critical in any new product or service. Is it a new service altogether in that sense? Because then you've got to create people to have a habit. You've got to help people to generate the market. And I'll tell you here, one of the more difficult things is that when you're too early to market, actually is a lot more difficult than when you're late to market. Supposing there are 4 people already out with the service. When you enter in, you will certainly want to enter in with a differentiator. After that, you may find that you'll adapt it, you'll modify it. But when you come in too early, how do you create a market? It takes a lot of money to be able to create a market. So if I just say from the top of my head, I say these 3 or 4 things. Having said those assumptions which I've just told you need to check, is it easy to use and so on and so forth, those then have got to be validated. And then validation itself has got to be a separate exercise. Sometimes it's not, I'm not saying that you should go and copy ideas from the West. In fact, today most of the leading edge innovation you'll find is taking place in developing countries. And we see it right here with some of the products. But sometimes it's not a bad idea to see what are the areas which are growing rapidly in those markets. One of the persons who I quote in this book was Alok Mittal, who's now created a not so much crowdfunding type of thing, but it is debt as distinct from equity for most purposes. And he looked at a list of the 500 fastest growing companies in the US, chose out of that 6 ideas. Then he reduced this down to 2 ideas which he went and test marketed. And then he chose the product. And he was a specialist. But he was clear that he was going to bring on founders. And again you said, how do you bring on people? Those same people he went and asked, are you also prepared to invest? And based on his idea, he would have chosen different founders. But once he chose the idea, the founders, but he built an ecosystem and a network where he knew the right people to go to depending on his idea he chose.
Thank you. Okay, finally, all the day's work has come to an end. And it was a super exciting energy from morning till now. I know a lot of hard work has gone to this. So thanks to you guys for organizing such a wonderful event. So I've been seeing people all over India have come, people from Bombay, people from Delhi, and Ministry of IT was here today, and Mr. Ashok Soota was here. So you've done a brilliant job. So thanks to you guys for getting this in Bangalore on a major prime place like MG Road, Volleyball, right? So kudos to you guys and Workbench Projects for making this up. So what are your final thoughts and how did you feel on the whole event?
Okay. I mean, for me, I was somebody, I'm kind of a nitpicker. So I think for me, not being around for the last 2 days just before the show did good to the show. Because I could really suck people's blood, and that's, to all honesty, I think the team, the volunteers and the makers have really pulled it off very well. Of course, it has taken a lot of time and a lot of deliberation between us about how we wanted to run the show. We've crossed a milestone for ourselves. I remember 2 years ago when we started our public engagement forum. It was at this very time. And this space is very important to us. I would say more important to us because it gives us a meaning of why we are here and what we do. Because it is a public space that we wanted to reclaim. And that reclamation has owed its testimony today with this large audience. This has not happened in the past for a forum like this. And I think that's what is valuable to us.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
And the whole night was packed.
Oh yes,
It
yes.
was completely, I mean, it was like not even a single space in between kind of a thing, at least in the morning when it started. And then it went on very well. Yeah.
What would you like to do?
So I think for me, looking at how the city responded to the fair today was quite exciting. There's a lot that the city offers. I mean, there's so many events, there's so many things happening all around. But to see a lot of interested people coming here and then spending time with their family and friends really shows that, you know, Bangalore still got a lot to give. And then that is very important because that kind of boosts our morale. And then putting up a show like this I wouldn't say it's a Herculean task of what giants do, but then for us, for a lean startup with 10 people and then who rely on great volunteer support, it is quite big for us. So, and the city kind of gracing with a lot of people makes it like, you know, a really good energy booster for us to say, okay, we're on the right track, the city still loves these kind of things, and then probably they're looking for more. So for me, I think somewhere down the line, probably next year, we would like to see if we can scale up to a bigger module of doing this. Somebody just made a comment, I think it was from Invento Makerspaces, I don't know if they're here now. They said that this was not a mini maker fair. I mean, I have attended a lot of mini maker fairs in the US and in other countries and all of this. You guys are a much bigger forum, you should probably be a maker fair. But it is definitely, you had so many things. So we tried our best to pack the entire day with diversity. We had different kinds of makers that had applied. So we did I thought we did a decent job in creating them. Because when people walk around, and of course we've had them out on a boulevard that was so long. So it kind of, it also gives you that temporary kind of a memory, because what you've seen there, so you would have forgotten by the end, and probably refreshes you by the other end, and then says, oh, okay, this is also something. It's a proof of concept that kind of keeps on coming to you. So that's where I think I feel that, you know, it was a good day for us to have done it, and the city received us well.
Okay. So one of the things which sets is that, so you guys have put up such a brilliant show, okay? And this is a milestone, right, for you guys. And the second thing is that a lot of expectations going forward for people in Bangalore City from Workbench. So what next?
So what next? I think we're the most organic people, and so is the space. The field informs us, and we respond to the field. So I would really like the field to tell us what they would like from us, and also to see for us whether we are in agreement to those parts, which means that there is a certain negotiation that happens, because often people ask us, you want to make a space in the Fab Lab, do you want to remain the same? So we've asked that question for ourselves several times. What the need was for us a couple of years ago is slowly tending to transform itself, you know, aspiring for a little more, need-based, engagements going forward. So we see that a lot of makers and thinkers who are around us today really need a platform to be incubated. You know, can we become that? Is something that I really ask myself going forward, yet holding our ground to what we still are as a makerspace in a family. So can we diversify in that space is what I'd really like to see whether the field informs us of that. This is certainly my thinking at this point.
So that's actually my thinking. She's talking on my behalf. So generally what we kind of do this is we play each other's mouthpiece often. So
devil's advocates.
Yes, that's true. And we are the biggest critique of each other's work. I don't think any of you have seen us. I mean, most of you, if you have worked with us, you've seen us fight, and then it's not pretty. But work gets done, yeah. Work gets done, and then it also gets done with a certain kind of quality standard that we both believe in. But to voice her opinion, so that was mine. So to voice her opinion, Anupama largely believes in education, right? We're talking about. So we just are going to do our 5-day intensive idea to prototyping course from November 2nd to November 6th for about 20 ideas that we have selected from Gulbarga, Belgaum, Mysore, Bangalore, and a lot of tier 2 kind of places. And it is a 5-day marathon effort to kind of get those basic prototypes done, and then they will be presented at one of the other government initiative fairs that are going to happen called ITE Biz. So it is education is something that Anupama believes really deeply in, and she's very motivated and then driven towards that. And we're also in talks with starting kind of a space like workbench projects in Gulbarga and one of the schools. So there are a lot of things that is in the pipeline, right? So we're talking about reaching out to our own state. We're not talking about going to any other state or any other place, because we still want to prove that these kind of things in our own neighborhood, in our own kind of communities are working right before we scale into other cities, towns, or whatever that may be. So education is something that we will focus on, and especially from engineering colleges, schools, all of these kind of things. And today, the performance that was done by one of the guys called Ashok is her student, or her, what do you call it, a granty from Gulbarga. Right, so, and he attended one of her programs called as Fab Educators Program, which was geared at teaching digital fabrication to arts education teachers and how they can use it in their theatre production, how they can use it in their arts education teaching. So that's where the diversification also comes. So one is at the incubation, startup, hardware and all of that level. The other one is art education.
Awesome. So I look forward for what next, because I know you guys can bring in a lot of stuff on the table going forward. So all the best, and it was a wonderful fair, and thank you so much.